good morning, or actually, yes, good morning, everyone from Australia. Welcome, nice to see you. We have 2 people viewing already. That's great. That's good to hear. Good to see. Uh, Now I need to turn this down. It's me watching. There you go. So let's turn that off. Welcome. Sorry about that. That was a little technical glitch. New show, new time slot, new setup. So previously you would have seen me looking after the camera. Camera's down here, camera's up there, laptop. Now it's all in one place. So welcome to Still Only 35 Cents. This is our first MMMS, the Marvelous Monday Mailcall Show. And Mr. Aitken's in the room. Hang on, let me just bring that mouse back up. Yeah, good to see you. Good morning. We have someone joining us who you might know very shortly. So I'll actually bring him on stage now. You would have seen him for the last couple of shows, but he made it for this first debut of MMMS. It's Ricky from All Sorts of Words. How are you going?
I'm great. Yeah, how are you? You good? It's early for you.
It's 8 a.m. here in Australia, and as I say, I'm new time slot for me. I'm going to try and do this. This is now going to be a weekly mail call show where I'll just go through what I get through every week.
Sick.
Guests like yourselves, anything that you've had over the last week, love to see what you've got come through. Bit of stories behind it.
I don't know this man.
You don't know this man?
I don't know this man. I don't know who this is.
Oh, you don't?
No, I know who this is. I was giving him the I don't know who this is.
I'm waiting for him to come back to you now. What we need is a big woo from the background.
Yeah. You'll be able to hear it from Australia.
Yeah, all the way from Australia. So yeah, this idea behind this new show is just at 8 o'clock in the morning. I think the Sunday thing was killing a little bit. Break to the weekend. So I thought move this to Monday, make it Sunday night for everybody else. Several people may or may not turn up, show their books. And then it's a great opportunity to not only show what I've got this week, but then talk to other channel members and YouTubers about their books and shout out to their channel. So that's sort of the idea with it, is that it won't just be my mail calls. It'll be everybody's mail calls.
Okay. And I'll coordinate for next time and I'll have it.
Yeah, well, mail calls from the previous week as well. Like anything that you've picked up that's super interesting that you want to share with the community and get them to come back to your channel to look at what you've got. So,
Roger.
Before we get started, a bit of housekeeping. So the toilets are over there. No joke. So yeah, if you could click that like button, it really helps us in terms of the algorithm, both Ricky and I. So any videos, please do that. If you like the content, hit that subscribe button too, and the notification bell for any future content that we both have. And last but not least, any questions in the chat, please feel free to add them in. We'll be sort of referring to the chat as we go. And if you are catching our video post the live stream, please leave a comment in there as well. Comment on the books, ask any questions, and then what we'll try and do is answer them in the forthcoming MMMS shows. So I'll get started, shall I, Ricky?
Please.
Show you what I have. So I might make myself big in this instance. I'm now going to try my new... Does that work? It does. No. I'll do it this way. If I go there like that, there you go.
Perfect.
So, okay, so the first thing I picked up that arrived this week is this beautiful printed t-shirt, limited edition printed t-shirt from Action Tees. I'm wearing one now, and I've unboxed one of these before. I'm not going to crack this open because it's just so beautiful. Everything about this is traditionally screen printed with waterproof, water-based inks, and he does it in the old style of the way that Marvel Comics used to do them. And so it takes a lot of screen printed elements and does them, but he also does it on the cards as well. So the cards that come with it are just phenomenally well designed and beautiful, and you can see here. So yeah, that's the first one. Love these. Yeah, they're on Instagram. I think the guy is called Zach Morrell, but I think his company's called Action Tees. He's just done an X-Men one, which unfortunately was too big for me. It was like sort of super XLs only, so it's like oversized. But yeah, grab his t-shirts. They're super limited. They don't come out very often. I think he does them once every 2 or 3 months. As I've got the Hobgoblin one, this is now the Hulk one. He's done a Doom one, I think, from memory, and a Venom. So yeah, if you get a chance, check out his IG. I'll put a link in the description later on. But these are very cool. I wish I bought a second one so I could just wear it and keep this one, because I think this one's a really beautiful design. And if you get a chance, check out the IG site. So that's
well.
that.
At least you get the like a pajama shirt in your X-Men one.
Well, I didn't buy it because of that reason. I was like,
oh, you got pajama shirts are so good.
And it's actually it's X-Men from. It's later in the run, so it's not that Claremont run. So it's that sort of Walsey Potato. How do you say his name? Wills Potasio. That's it. Wills Potasio, I think.
I have no idea.
And yeah, it's later in that run. So it's Storm and Jean Grey. And it looks great, but it's just way too big. It's like, you're right. Like I could sleep in it, and it would just, it'd be like
pajama shirt. You could like Porky Pig it without underwear and just like walk around in like a dress.
I wouldn't have to worry. My kids would probably complain, but yeah. Did you have anything to share? Have you got anything?
Well, I mean, within arm's reach. So interestingly enough, all the cool stuff I'm going to be unboxing on my channel is coming later.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what I'm reading. I'm reading this omnibus of 3 novels by 3 different authors. It's Michael Carroll, Al Ewing, and Matt Smith, and they wrote Judge Dredd Year 1. It's 3 different novellas in the Judge Dredd universe about Judge Dredd. This is the only novelization I can find of the Judge Dredd universe. Like, you know how like Warhammer has like a whole, like they have 1 million Warhammer novels. Yeah. This is apparently it for Judge Dredd. This is all I can find.
So Ricky, I'm gonna just make this slightly bigger. There you go. So then you can show it off.
Judge Dredd,
I didn't know about this. And who's the authors?
So it's these 3 fellas. It's Michael Carroll, Al Ewing, and Matt Smith.
Al Ewing. Okay. Wow.
But yeah, it says Mega City 1, 2080, Judge Joe Dredd's first year on the streets as a full Eagle judge, bred for justice, trained in law. Dredd's no hopeless rookie, but he's not the seasoned veteran we know yet. 3 tales followed the first adventures of the future city's greatest lawman with an introduction by the mighty Tharg.
Wow. That's really cool. I hadn't even known about that. So it's a prequel to...
Yeah, and it's got three stories. Okay, City Fathers, the brutal murder of a Justice Department sanctioned spy uncovers something new and dangerous in the sector's murky black past. Unless Dredd can stop it, chaos will be unleashed. So I guess like some kind of like espionage-y kind of thing. Okay, Cold Light of Day, a savage killing spree results in the deaths of 2 highly regarded judges, and many consider Dredd to be responsible. A decision he made 5 years earlier while he was still a cadet has come back to haunt him. And then Wear Iron, that's the rule. Paul Strader is a stuck-up man and a stone-cold professional, but when he gets in over his head, he has to risk everything on the word of a corrupt lawman and break every rule he has. Every rule but one. Doesn't even sound like a Judge Dredd story.
That doesn't sound like a Judge story.
At all. Yeah. And then I'm reading the... this is the complete case files #1 of Judge Dredd. This covers progs 2 through 60. And I just finished the Call Me Kenneth arc.
Very good. Excellent. So as per our last stream, you're gonna be putting little post-it notes in there to where you move to the books when
so you're moving through them. They actually have like a little badge at the beginning of each chapter to let you know like what number corresponds with it. So they kind of did the work for me.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's really cool. Well, I mean, that's the other thing. You want to read the books, but I loved your idea of like reading the book where you get a gap, you go back to that book and then go back to the original.
Well, the other thing that like we didn't consider is I'm noticing some pages in here are a little more washed out. And like because they're all black and white, but I'm thinking those are the color pages that they're reproducing to black and white for this edition.
Probably.
This doesn't have any of the color in it. And there are tons of color pages. So the ones in here are coming out like a little, you almost sense like a little bit of color correction in them, like to make them better black and white because they washed them out.
So if you look at the first story, issue 2, just quickly, that there's
Yeah. Oh, yes. No, that's what I was doing right now to show you. Yeah, that image that we know is in color.
Yeah, that last page should be different to the others.
Mary, his house lady. She's like,
that's the woman.
Yeah,
that's
super,
the woman.
offensive. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, so that's lighter than the others, right? Is that what you're saying?
It just, it does, I don't know. Like I think maybe it's because my brain knows it's in color and I've seen this image in color so many times that it's messing with it. But like it is, if you're a purist, this is an altered page because it wasn't colored and they color corrected it. So the point I'm being is like, so as I'm reading the progs and I have the one, on the chance that it has the color spread, I want to then like, okay, I'll put the book down and then I'll go read the actual prog so I can see the color spread.
Nice. Okay, I have this. I've been waiting for this for a while. Pick this up. Origins of Marvel Comics by Stan Lee. I think this one's the 10th printing. I mean, it was printed to death, this thing. But what I love about it is, I don't know if you can see this, but it's got an introduction for each of the stories. And it's got Fantastic Four #1 in it, fully reprinted.
That's cool.
And then they have an adjacent story. This one is Fantastic Four 55, so you've got a Silver Surfer story. But you get these intros prior to them in terms of the story and then the following story. So they got that Silver Surfer story. Then they move to the Hulk. So a bit of an intro from Stan on the Hulk. Then you get reprint of Hulk #1. And the interesting thing on this one is it's Grey Hulk. So this is not a true reprint, to your point, because he's green throughout the whole story. So it's right if you think about the continuity, but it's wrong in terms of the comic. And then they do this bizarre, like I don't understand how they just went from Hulk 1 to Incredible Hulk 118. I don't know, 118 with the Submariner. Just random issues that seem to be alongside. I'd be going with, maybe a more modern keyboard.
Is it all stuff that he wrote, or is it stuff that he wrote and then some he produced on or edited for?
Let's see. That's a good point. Yes, that one he wrote. Issue 118 he wrote. Fantastic Four, obviously, 59, 55 he would have wrote. Then you get AF15. So you get the first Spider-Man. And then, for some reason, you get Rocked by the Shocker, Amazing Spider-Man 72. And again, that would have been written by Stan. So, yes, I think that's probably your point. That's probably a good point, that it has to be a Stan Lee story with a Stan Lee story.
Yeah, I guess I would have, because I think I would have liked to hear, like, what is it, like, his version of, like, what being an editor is. Like, this is the feedback you have to give, and this is what I said.
Yeah. So then Journey into Mystery, so you get Thor, first introduction of Thor. And then...
Are the pictures on glossy paper, or are they on the same printed paper?
Printed paper. And then he does give a short reason why he's going into each of these stories. So then it's Thor 143. But yeah, I just thought this was a nice little pickup. I wanted it for a while. I love that cover. That cover just, as always, I've loved that cover because it's just beautifully painted. And Stan Lee's obviously typing away on his typewriter, but it's just really cool. And I'd never had one of these before, so it's good to have it. Oh, I'm missing some more. One more. So not only do they have Thor, then they have in here Doctor Strange. So they don't do the cover on that one. They just do the origin of Doctor Strange. So it's not the first appearance of Doctor Strange. It's the origin story, I think. And then they do the original Steve Ditko one. Right. So you get Doctor Strange as a sort of, feels like a little bonus piece. But yeah, super happy to get that. It's just came, random selection of books that came, and that was in there. I got this, which is a UK annual, like one of those hardback annuals that came in. This reprints, I can't remember which issues this is now. This is obviously Neil Adams' early X-Men with the Sentinels. I can't remember the issues specifically. I'd need to go back and check.
That's a great way to read them.
But they're just, and they're hardback, hardcover And then, you know, I don't want to sort of necessarily take the comics out, so I can read through this and still get the benefit. But, you know, it's not too bad. And it wasn't that pricey. It was like, what, I think £5. So
Yeah, that's great.
not bad. Did you have anything else, or have you got anything else that you have?
No, I'm telling you. So I did a trade and I did another trade. So I've done 2 trades now, and I've got that, and they're literally both coming relatively soon. So when they're in, I'll be unboxing.
All right. Well, maybe I'll show you next this one. Staying with the UK theme, actually. So I picked this up.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, do you notice the difference?
The background is white and not red.
That's that.
Oh, Marvel also spelled Marvel. No,
no. But it's no. Look at Hulk's face. So let's zoom in on that. Let's get some light on it. So that is a very different. That is the original Herb Trimpe art that they used on this cover. So the actual art on Hulk 181, my recollection is that John Romita did some additional embellishments to make the Hulk look, because he doesn't look very Herb Trimpe, right? So this is the original art that they used on this. I think there's a Spanish copy as well that uses the same art. So they were sending out the non-embellished artwork to these reprint, to the different countries that did the reprint. So the photostats of the original art, they didn't think to do a reprint or a photostat of the final cover art. So this is why all of these reprints have the original Herb Trimpe art on it. This is quite a pricey book, again from the UK. So because it is technically Marvel UK's first appearance of the Incredible Hulk. So, but yeah, just great to have, just purely because of that different cover and the way it's laid out. And to your point, yeah, it's white. You don't get the red. But
yeah, it makes it seem like it's a different type of day. Like in this cover, it looks like maybe lunchtime. Like maybe they'll break for a sandwich after, middle of the day. Yeah. But like that red one gives it like a either early morning, or I always got the impression of like late, like dusk, like the sun's going down, the sky's all red.
Yeah.
I like the red a lot better.
I thought it was pretty good to share with everyone, because it's one of those that people don't know about, that you can get this different cover. Let's just see what Mr. Akins just said. Show.
Yeah, that's the benefit of reading the older books. The letters pages are fun.
Yeah, I miss those. Right, so that's that one. Let me I might switch cameras again. See if I can get the normal extra camera on. Oh, there you go. That's what you need. So we'll add this to the stage, and then
cool.
This. There you go. Always good. All right, so I got a whole stack here as well that I wanted to show you. So these top 3 here just came back from CGC. They were submitted, I think, way back in Heroes Con, and I had them graded, and they came back with some really dodgy notes. And considering they were supposed to be cleaned and pressed by CGC, so I wrote back to them. We chatted about it. They sort of, I sent them photos of the books, and they re-reviewed them in terms of the grade. So the vast majority got a bit of a bump up because they were then repressed and then graded. But they've gone from, this is Mr. Miracle number 5. I think originally this might still be an 8. I don't think it did get that extra bump, this one. I was hoping for a little bit higher, but it's got obviously Big Barda in here, an early Mr. Miracle, Jack Kirby. Classic.
Yeah, I actually, that's a set that I have. I have a reader set of all Kirby's New God stuff. I love New Gods.
Yeah. So I was really happy to get that, but this one is probably the one that, this one originated when it first came back. I think it came back as a 9. So you can see that obviously there were some issues that they'd missed and picked up. So then it got bumped up to a 9.4. So happy with that. And again, to get an early Kirby DC book
Yeah, that's one that's late in the run.
Yeah.
I think when does it end? Like 24, 25?
I think it ends less than that. I'm thinking it's like 19.
It
I
might
don't have the
be.
books to hand. I think it's really short. And
Oh,
then
look.
maybe have a quick look whilst we go through it.
Yeah.
And then last, this one, which was a massive surprise to me when it came, like, I mean, I'm happy with it now, but it was really low. I think 7.5, and I was like, and there's no reason for that to be 7.5. And then they had all this thing like finger creasing and things like that, and I'm like, well, that wasn't on this book. Went back, reviewed it, 9.0. You know, I would have liked higher, obviously, but this is still great to have. You know, very early FF, 64 in a 9. Off-white to white pages, and I sort of agree with the grade now, but it certainly wasn't a 7.5. I can tell you that. So
There were 25 issues.
there were okay. So you were right, and I was wrong, which is usually the way.
Aw, that's not true. Yeah.
Okay, next up.
Is this a series that you're collecting, or is this just like are these like all series that you're collecting, or is these individual?
Fantastic Four, yes, but it's like it's a dream to collect that whole run, especially in higher grade. Mr. Miracle, I've got the whole run. I'm just like key books or books that are really high grade. I'm getting graded. Werewolf by Night, absolutely. I'm probably missing one book now, but I'm also the way I collect, Ricky, is that I get the raw books. And then I like to try and get certain books high grade, or if I come across a book within I'll upgrade the version to make it, to get as high grade as possible. So I'll still have a reader copy. I'll always have a reader copy, but then I might have, say, a 9.6 or a 9.8 or a whatever grade I can get. Right?
Do you keep them together?
No. So they're always like slabs on this side, raws on this side. And literally I can go and read the books. And so that was the funny thing about the bout that we did, right? With because I was like I do read the books, but it's just I do the slabs.
You also collect the slabs.
Yeah. So it's a lot easier to do the slabs piece. And I like the challenge of finding a really gorgeous looking raw book and sending it in. Like that to me that's my collecting drug, right? Like I love if I can find a book and go, wow, I wonder if I get a 9.6 or a 9.8 out of that. Let's try it. So that's part of the joy, right? Is to this one though is not one that I bought and submitted. Those three were. This one is one that I was looking for, and I missed out on one of Mike Plug's signed copies of this. And so then I thought to myself, I'll just buy anyone, and just keep it because I love the Werewolf by Night run, and I love the Tomb of Dracula run, and this is a crossover issue from both of them. So, Tomb of Dracula 18, I think, is the first one, and then it leads into this story. So this is like the two part of the story. How many? This is from Mr. Rankin. How many comics are in your collection? Raw and slabs. So that pile over there, the raws, and that doesn't include all the moderns that are sitting in a storage locker. This is all like bronze, copper, silver. There's, I think, 4,000 comics there. And then slabs wise, there are, if you think, I'd say probably at least 1,000 slabs, like at least.
Yeah, I've run the numbers. My collection's only about like 6,000.
Yeah, I think there's at least 1,000 slabs, and but that might include my overrun as well. I'd need to go back and check. I just haven't counted. Actually, no, tell a lie. I have counted because I have put them on the system. There is less than 1,000. There's 780.
It's like almost $5,000, 5,000 comics.
Yes, yeah, about 5,000 comics. So, but yeah, I'll keep growing the slabs. So I've got some more this week that I'll pick up. I'm going over to the US this week, so I'll be popping off, picking up a few books from over there. What I'm going to plan to do, Ricky, is like whilst I'm there, I'll just set up in a hotel and just show the books that I picked up from different comic shops out there. So,
oh, cool.
Let me just move this. So then this is Tales of Suspense 48, 5.0. It's a pence copy. And this is part of the reason for buying this. Got this at absolute steal. I think it was like £70 in an auction. Which I think works out to about 110 US, something like that.
Yeah, close.
So 110 US, and I'm like, "Man, this is great!" Like, and it's the first Iron Man red and gold armor. So I was like, "We've got to have this." Just the fact that you have the old armor and then the new one alongside, so it's super.
How many pounds was it?
£70, I think, from memory.
Pound sterling, right?
Yes.
$88.22.
No.
Wow. Pound. Yes, it's what Google says. 88.22 is 70 pounds sterling.
That's good. So yeah, another win there. So
yeah, cheap though. Cheap book. I mean, for a 5.0 and a variant. I know you collect those pence variants.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, it was a bit of a no-brainer. I think again, sometimes I think the pence variant, but it was from a UK auction as well, which is another thing that I always gets interesting. I think there's a lesser pool of buyers, obviously there. So yes, that's it. Was it? Tales of Suspense Iron Man first red and gold armor. Yes, correct. And at that price, you're like, wow, that's thank God for that. So, next on the list. So this is a whole bunch of books that came through. I buy a lot of books, and you may have seen this, Ricky. I buy a lot of books from a Future Past Vintage Collectibles, which is Dave and Rachel. They do a claim sale every, I think it's Monday US time, but it works out Tuesday mornings. So I can it's nice because I can just watch it and just dial in. And every week I'm picking, they do super high grade books, and they grade them really well, price them really well. And so I just pick up random ones. So it's always run filler. So there's not major keys normally in these sort of piles, but it's just really cool run filler. So you can see here, Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man and Moon Knight, number 144.
I know I had that book as a kid. That cover is just like,
it's so good.
I know I have, but I know I have. You know when you know a cover from your childhood.
Yeah,
I know that cover from my childhood.
I mean, I love the fact that you've got the black suit Spidey with Moon Knight. It's just it's fantastic. Secret Wars number 1, and the reason why I wanted this, like, I mean, I was sort of avoiding Secret Wars 2, but then got back into it a little bit. Like, I love Al Milgrom. I didn't necessarily like the art in this, and I thought the story was a little bit sort of, after Secret Wars 1, Secret Wars 2 was just a bit meh, right? But I love the John Byrne cover on issue 1. That looks great, and promises such great riches inside. Like, if John Byrne would have drawn it, I think Secret Wars would have been a massive success. But I think because they had to go with Al. And it just didn't sort of resonate, I don't think, as much as it should have. Like, there's Mike Zeck art and Secret Wars 1 is amazing, and that probably helps that story as well. So then we have Secret Wars 4, Secret Wars 2, number 4 in the 9-issue limited series. I picked up this one. Again, this was $16, near mint plus, which Dave and Rachel reckon is around about 9.6, right? So again, you're getting a super high grade book, and again, it's John Byrne, so I wanted this. This is Action Comics 584, and what I found was interesting when I saw this and picked this up was we're all going on about these first issue number 1s, right? So here they have, in the old days, they didn't renumber a book; they just kept the number and said it's a brand new or first all new issue. We're going to start a new run, but they kept the title and they kept the legacy numbering. I really don't like the constantly putting out a new Spider-Man number 1, Amazing Spider-Man number 1, when it's not Amazing Spider-Man number 1. Stop. We should just, this was, legacy numbering for me is just crucial in terms of a long-standing book. Like Spawn, bless Todd McFarlane for keeping that numbering system and go, like, he doesn't want to keep relaunching Spawn number 1s, right? And he's talked about that quite vocally, and this is the thing that I just wish they'd stop doing. Like, keep the legacy books, Like they need to be strengthened. They need to be honored, right? Because they've been around for years, and you could do this. Just don't keep putting number ones on it. Like it doesn't help anyone. Anyway, that's my rant over. Zot. I don't know if you ever read Zot or knew about Zot.
Nope.
So this I came across from John and Richard on Bronze and Modern Gods, and it's a highly recommended run, and it'll come back to it in a moment. It sort of starts off as this sort of space story, but becomes a bit more Love and Rockets towards the end. So I thought I'd get this and start reading it, and who knows, collect the other issues. But that cover just on itself, I love that cover, right? Like it's a pretty dynamic looking cover, and I just thought like it's worth it just to giving it a go. And I think the grade on this is near mint, so yeah, near mint copy of that. Again, I'm pretty happy. I picked up the first issue of the Marvel Universe Handbook. I've got the deluxe edition full set, but I wanted to I saw this super high grade again, thought I'd get it.
Who's that guy in purple?
That is one of the Eternals, I think. Not sure who.
Yeah,
it's one of the Eternals.
I just had never seen that costume.
Amazing Spider-Man number 268, which is Black Suit Secret Wars tie-in, where the Beyonder turns a skyscraper into gold and basically causes like major issues, including the Kingpin trying to grab hold of it. Mr. Aiken, what's he say? It's Ajax. There you go. He's got better eyes than we have. Ajax is the guy in the purple suit, Ricky.
He got it. I don't know Eternals.
I do. I should know that, but I couldn't. My mind went blank. What else have we got here? I'm just trying to show another one. I wish they would stop renumbering as well. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so frustrating just how they keep doing that. New Teen Titans Annual number 1 from 1982. And then I picked these up. I haven't read these yet. I'm looking forward to it. Deadpool's obviously coming out, right?
Sure.
So I thought I'd get myself the full first 4 issues of Ambush Bug, who is another fourth wall breaking character, but from DC.
Do you have his first appearance?
I do not. I was looking into that.
It's cheap. It's super cheap.
I should get it. I think that's the thing. I'm gonna get it.
Here's the reason why you have to get it. It's because not only is it the first appearance of Ambush Bug, it's the first unofficial appearance of Judge Dredd in U.S. comics.
Oh, the balloon.
Balloon.
Yes, I have heard about it. I didn't realize that was that issue.
Yeah, it's his first appearance, that Action Comics issue.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna get that then. That's good to know. But yeah, look, these are really cool. Another reason why I wanted this.
Cool.
That's exactly why I wanted this one, right? Because this was the one I saw first on their listing, and then I was like, I might as well buy the whole lot, right? So yeah, Qantas, right, which is a play on the national airline carrier, right? Qantas, right?
Okay, sure.
Qantas is the koala who walks like a man. So that in itself, I was like, I have to get that issue, right? Because it's a really good arc back for us Australians. And then yeah, you get like Ambush Bug with what was it?
Batmite. Oh, it's Batmite.
Yeah. And I'm not sure who's this Scabbard, Returns from the Dead. But yeah, it just looks like a lot of fun. Can't wait to read it. And then there was a Son of Ambush Bug number 1 available as well. So I picked that one up.
And that issue on the right hand side, that one right there is literally on the cover making fun of what you were just talking about.
Oh, exactly. First newest DC miniseries destined to be collected. Big first issue. Must have double item. Fleming and Giffen have done it again. First revealed at last. It is actually. I hadn't even noticed that. Is he man or monster? Very cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. If anyone else out there has read Ambush Bug, let us know what you think as well, because I have a feeling that James Gunn, with his love of like the absurd, is probably going to look at something like Ambush Bug, right? Like he's ripe for the picking, right? Like anything that's sort of obscure and weird and a bit zany, I think James Gunn is that's his bag. So that's what he'll probably end up going with, right? So then last few here. 276 of Daredevil, which is Acts of Vengeance story with Ultron battle, which you feels like that shouldn't make any sense, right? Like Ultron versus Daredevil. And then 278, which is Daredevil versus Blackheart. And then a random Marvel Age 11, which covers the Kitty Pryde and Wolverine intro, like a little intro preview for within Marvel Age. So I love the Marvel Age books. Because it's sort of, I mean, we didn't have YouTube in those days. You didn't have it, realistically, you found out your news from like, Wizard Magazine or Marvel Age, what was coming, the different storylines. So, I'd like going back and looking at these and seeing.
It's also a really clever cover because Kitty Pryde's just walking through the banner and Wolverine's tearing through it. I really like that.
Yeah. No, and they did do some good covers on these. Like they've got there was an Excalibur one on there. There's that classic Daredevil one when Frank Miller came back. They did. I think there was a Mobius one as well. So there's a whole bunch of really cool covers that they did for these that were just completely different. Like I think there was a different Alpha Flight one as well that they did, which I've got 9.8 somewhere. I went and got that one graded. So that's a good example, right? Well, I'll collect the series, but then certain books that I read, characters that I love, I'll go and get something like slabbed and graded. So that's that. And then finish off this lot. I picked this up. Now I've been collecting Marvel Superheroes, the role-playing game. This just blew me away. It's a fold-up figures and a story called Pit of the Viper. But the beautiful thing about this is it is immaculate. Like it hasn't been touched. The figures are not opened. So I'm going back and hopefully at some point going to be doing a bit of a video on Marvel Superheroes, the role-playing game, and maybe convincing certain other YouTubers to get in and do a bit of a Marvel Superheroes role-playing game.
I would 100%. You can DM that.
Because I just think that's it's great, and I want to go back and do the real basic one where you can play as your favorite characters, right? Like it's not design your own characters, like play as Spider-Man and play as any Marvel character that's in that sort of different scenario. So I've got a whole bunch of other stuff here that I'll be going through. I've got all of these sort of scenarios that came out. These aren't as good quality, but able to run through some of these. This one's sealed, luckily. And then I've got the original box with the battle book, the campaign book, the pencil, the original cutouts that aren't cut out, the maps. So yeah, I think it's time to crack these back up and have a go with some of the fellow YouTubers around, playing the game again. Because did you play it as a kid?
No, good Lord, no, no, not at all. I did some D&D in grade school, but that was it, and it was only with a specific group of friends. Like I didn't play it as an adult.
Oh, these are those
are cool.
So these are the original set. I've got them sealed. So I've got them sealed behind me, but these are like my loose ones that I'm keeping at the moment for use.
Are they metal or tin?
Yeah, they're metal. I think they're lead, like they're lead mix.
Wow. Nightcrawler.
Oh, hang on. Here we go. We've got another person to play Marvel Superheroes. That's good.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
That's good.
Yeah, he's really into the Not getting touched by women. Sorry, synonym. Playing role-playing games as an adult.
Yeah, it's so look at this Wolverine. Can you see this? Let's try and get it into the camera there.
I don't know if you're familiar with Dragon Ball Z, but he kind of looks like Cell.
Yeah.
With the, like those,
yeah,
like
agreed. Then the last one I've got for you, Ricky, and the audience is
whoa.
Now, this was one of my collecting goals for 2024, and I nailed it. There was a lot. Now, I haven't nailed it as well as I'd like, right? And I'll give you the story as to why. So I got onto this again by John and Richard at Bronze and Modern Gods, right? They were like, you got to read this run. So I came across a lot on a UK auction. It was, I think, issue 1 through to 17, and so 1 through to 14, and then it skipped ahead to 20, and then it went from 21 to 30 something. And I was looking at it, and I was like, okay, well, I got it at a reasonable price. But what was interesting is that the condition of these is stunning. Like they're beautiful. Like they've just been stored very, very well. There's no damage. And I was really hoping, but this one is a third print, right? And you can tell because of the price and the styling of the price. And then on my understanding, you got an issue number 2. That's second print, I think. Issue number 3, third print, second print. But look at these covers, right? Like that is a stunning cover, right? Like I didn't know about this book, so I can't wait to read it, and was so ecstatic to pick up such a big part of the run. I've only got a few issues I need to collect now, but that's the second print. That I believe is the second print, and the story behind it is I think these second and third prints are actually rarer than obviously the first print because they were in smaller numbers. I was doing a bit of digging, and it appears, particularly that third print of number 1 is a bit harder to find. So yeah, again, super happy, and as I say, the quality of these, like I'm debating whether I send them in and just get them all graded because they're all 9.6s, 9.8s look like to me. I mean,
I like that, like Mr. Freeze looking. I like all the robots. Look at that square robot on his arm.
It's just so cool. And the nice thing is that they've got great back covers too. So they really sort of.
And it's like a romance cover reference.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I think my again, this is my understanding, right? And this is like the Zot story. It starts off as one type of story, like sci-fi related, but then becomes much more about the people, and that's the thing that I'm looking forward to. Is just with such high recommendations, need to go back and read it. And so in the next couple of months, when we do more of this show, I'll probably be like raving about Love and Rockets and doing a deeper dive because I mean, again, look at this. Right, there's homages to other covers or other styles. Issue 12, issue 13, issue 14. And then this is where I go. So that's where it stopped, the lot that I bought. And then at an Australian comic show, I managed to pick up an issue 15. Again, looks immaculate. This is the first print as well. But yeah, I was super surprised to be able to pick that up just randomly at like the Yarraville Comic and Toy Fair. This one's got a few spine ticks, but great to read. But again, that cover looks great. The pink on the blue, just really good. Then we jump. So then I don't have a gap from 16. We jump to 27. Really high grade.
Like a Picasso cover.
Yep. Issue 28. Love and Rockets Chicken. Oh, Cockerel. I don't know. Yeah, what's going on there? Issue 29. Issue 30. I think that's a homage to not entirely sure, but it looks like a homage to sort of High Fidelity. Then you've got 31.
I like that one.
32. This one?
No, the one on the right. I like that. Just
Yeah.
like two people in a car.
Yeah, it's just cool. 33, I like that cover. That's quite cool. 34, 35.
Oh, neat.
36,
Oh, God. That looks like Lena Headey.
36. It does a bit, actually. 36, 37, 38.
Oh, damn.
That's interesting. And 39. And I'm not sure how long the run goes for, but it's ongoing now, I think. But the first series, I don't know how long.
And that guy looks like Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, but it's got a scarred face on the right-hand side. So interesting. And I don't know the history of the Bonanza book, so I'll have to check it out. That one's not, again, that one, it's funny. There's like literally 2 books in here, 3 books in here that have like spine ticks, and the rest are just absolutely spectacular. So I don't know what went on there. That might have been a reader copy that they just picked up later. But yeah, that's it. That's what I got for this one. I do have one other batch, which is over there. If you give me 1 second, Ricky, I'll go and grab it.
Grab away. I'll look at this this selection of covers.
Well, I chose the nice one, right? Which is the Lady Friends.
Oh, I was thinking the cat on the Picasso.
Oh, I don't think I have it. No, I think I'll have to leave it for that. Yeah, so that's it. I've got 2 more to show you. And then we'll probably call it quits because we're at what time now? 8:47 anyway. Let me just put this up here. So these, I picked these up, and again, super cheap. But Marvel Comics: A Visual History and 5 Fabulous Decades of World's Greatest Comics Marvel, and these are so cool. Like, get a little sort of art book, but it gives you the history of Marvel all the way back. So it goes all the way. So you can see the corner who stands to cover off the Golden Age, Captain America comics. Then got more of that. Patsy Walker, Millie the Model, Nellie the Nurse, Miss America, Two Gun Kid, Weird Tales. They go through the 1950s to the 1960s. And it's super rich in terms of the content. Like, you've got like sketches, as like original sketches or original art before it was converted into
Seduction of the Innocent right there.
Yeah.
Talking about it.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, I just thought it was quite just nice to go through, give this to sort of most of my normie friends to have a read through, and so they get a sense of the history of it all. And then they go through the Marvel Age. Like, half the book is, well, actually, more than 3/4 of the book is all about, from Marvel Age onwards, so 1960s onwards. And it sort of finishes. I'm just double checking. It sort of finishes in terms of the story piece. It finishes in the it feels like it finishes in the 90s. It's like late 90s. So there's not a lot. Yeah, it sort of finishes like Todd McFarlane, early 90s, right? So it's finishing about there. So that's about as far as it got. So it's sort of late Copper Age, early modern, where it finishes.
Well, the photo of Stan on the dust jacket at the end gives you an idea of how young he was when they made it.
Yeah. So it's a pretty. This one, I'm just double check the printing when it was actually produced. But again, still nice to have, and it's got like New Universe in there. It's got some crazy stuff. This was first printed, first published in 1991. Copyright 1991. So so it's 1991. So that's why it's the late 1990s. And then this one I got. Yes, there he is. Mon's around. How you doing? And then this one.
That's cool.
Marvel Visual History. This one I think was printed in 2010. So before like Marvel, it was right on the cusp of the movies being successful, right? Like the first Iron Man movie. So this again does more of the same. You get like classic sort of Submariner strips. You go all the way back to the 40s, but it's a bit more of those sort of visual dictionary type pieces. So you get like, it's less text, more the images and a few sort of like bullet points. But again, it's useful to have, takes you through each individual year. So you go 1944, 1945. So you can literally flick through to a year that's of interest to you. Go to 1991, pick up where that left off, and sort of covers off the main stories through each of those years. And it goes all the way up to 2008.
Woof.
Secret Invasion, right?
Yeah. It ends right at the financial collapse. Gotcha.
Yeah. So that this is that's why I quite like this. It's that coupled with the other book is really cool. And you consider where we're at today with collectibles and Marvel, as it's interesting to see this. Like, this is an early Jim Chung art lithograph that comes with it as well. So I was like, well, that's super cool as well. So next time I see Jim, I'll probably get him to sign that. Those are beautiful. They are beautiful, Mon. Good to see you, as I say. And then what they give you as well is not only do you get the color one, you get this black and white one too. So choose your poison, Ricky.
I like the black and white one.
Yeah. That's what I picked up this week. Lots more planned next week. As I say,
so you're doing some globe hopping.
Yeah, I'll be in. Let me bring the screen off. We'll bring us both back up. And we'll remove this one. There you go. Yeah, so I'm doing a bit of globe hopping. I'm gonna be going over to the US. I'm doing ECC, not this weekend, coming the weekend after. And then I'll be picking up a lot of books that have been in storage, both at the UK and here. So there'll be a lot of very interesting books upcoming. Certain trade that we've got going on as well. That's going to be
true.
So I shall be unboxing those probably next week, I think, if I pick it up this week. So yeah, that's the plan. So and what about you? What have you got?
So I did a trade with you, and I did a trade with Bigby McFly, and I ended up getting the Dreamwalker Zero off him.
Yeah.
The first Goon. Got that one, and I got the first Star Trek.
Wow.
Okay. Wanted that one.
Is that the Golden Key one? Am I
Golden
wrong?
Key? Yeah. The photo cover with Kirk and Spock, and then issues 1 through 26 of The Boys, all first print.
Nice. That's
so
good.
Yeah. That'll be a good unboxing, but like not the one I'm looking forward to. The one I'm looking forward to is good. Right.
It's funny. I was talking to Biggie because I was on another stream and he was on there, and we were talking. We actually, you came up in conversation about that trade as well, because he was saying he was doing a trade with you, so that was good. So nice to hear those books as well.
Yeah, I mean, trading is so much fun.
I agree.
It's so much fun.
I want to do more of it. I think that's the thing. I need to. I was thinking about doing a stream, like a trading stream, just general, like just having anyone pop up and go, like when you do it at comic fairs, do something virtual where anyone can turn up with a book and just go, right, I'm looking to do this. So yeah.
Well, this holiday season, I want to do a old school like $100 Yankee swap.
You're all out here trading like crazy. Yes, that's right. We are. I'd be in for that. Yeah, well, we'll definitely do it. I think it's a good idea. Like I think the trick with trading is it's like working out who wants what. Like it was easy with you and I, Ricky, right? Because there was like, we both just happened at the same time to say, "Oh, I really like that. You really like that." But it's a hard one, right? Like, because we almost need want lists or wish lists,
right?
That you know about, that you can go, oh, I know you want that book, and actually I know you've got that book, so let's do this. But
some sort of like comic collector app where we can you can sign up with friends and link with your friends, and then you can put your want list up, and then people can fulfill it.
Well, I do that on Wacom to some degree. So I've got a wish list on Wacom, but I don't think can you do it on CLZ? Do you use CLZ?
I actually just got rid of my CLZ. I don't use it. I got it like thinking I was going to invest in it, and I started scanning all my boxes, and then just like I don't know, I just lost interest.
What's he saying? Let's have a look now. What's this? It's tricky with this new layout. I can't see anything.
He says all these pages that offer trading want a certain cash value, then more if it's trade, and I'd just rather do value for value. Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I feel like he was giving me more books than I was giving him. And I think that in terms of value, and but it's also hard because like the market's all over the place.
I think it's one of those that's a bit of a trick. It's a tricky one. I mean, I still want to give you. It depends on the individual, right? And
I completely agree. Yeah, I'm more apt to say like, look, how about I just throw in this and this to make this happen? Like, that's part of it, and then like, like knowing how much somebody wants something's a part of it too. Like, especially if you like have a relationship with them, that plays a part. There's a lot of nuances. You're right.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. Well, look, Ricky, what did you want to say? Tell me what you're doing with the channel this week, and then.
Oh, good God! I'm editing the next wrestling match, which is tomorrow. That's coming out. That's Big B McFly versus the Immortal Biggie Shack. So big battle of the bigs. And then after that, it's actually Alan from Comic Collector Geek and Steppo. So that'll be the one after that, and then it's a break week where I'm going to make like an appeal to the audience to be like, okay, go recommend to your YouTube, the people that you have relationships with, the fans that know, like, oh, I talked to this guy. Go tell him to come and be on the show, because like I want a diverse group that then we can start shaking up the dice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want to sort of build your portfolio up in terms of the fighters.
Yeah, I think if we got to a number like 18 or 18 to 20, like 18 would be like, if we hit 18 different people, now we can start shaking the dice while I continue to look for more people. Yeah. But like, I think like maybe like 8 people, not enough. I need some more gene diversity.
Yeah, I think the other thing as well that I was thinking about this is doing that battle with M.O.N, but to your point, do it separate, like do it as a sort of side bout.
Yeah.
I'll talk to him about it. I don't know if he's still watching. What do you think, M.O.N? Do we do it? Should we do a standalone? Anyway, we'll see. He'll probably put something in. So you filmed the 2 biggies already? That's done?
Yeah, Biggie's done. Wednesday, I film Alan and Seppo. Yeah. And then that's the week out. Their video is not going to end with and next time, new more wrestlers. It's going to end with like, I'm taking a break so that I can go do some hunting myself to try to find wrestlers. And while I'm doing this, if you like it, and you know somebody, reach out, let them know if they want to do it. And then I don't know. I want to do a video this week, film it Wednesday, have it up Friday. But like, I think I'm going to do a couple videos this weekend because my wife is going out of town for like a work thing. So I'm thinking like maybe try to do like 3 or 4. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. I'm going to hopefully finish off this week the interview with Al Murray. So finally got all the footage sorted. So that'll be coming out in the next week or so, depending on how I can get it. There's a lot of work. There's over 2 hours worth of interview footage. So editing that down is going to be a bit of hard yards, but the thumbnail's done.
Oh, good. And all the traveling you've got. That's a lot too.
Yeah, so that's good. So anyway, thanks again for joining, Ricky. Always a pleasure. It's as I say, great to take you through these books. Hopefully next time we'll showcase some more of yours as well, because I want to, especially when you get those trades through. So all of you that are watching, thanks for joining. So I think we had M.O.N Comics join, Brandon at M.O.N Comics. We had What's on the Comic Rack. So go and check their channels out as well. They're great YouTubers. Always good to see them in the stream. Don't forget to check out Ricky on All Sorts of Words. I've been Still Only 35 Cents. This has been MMMS. First one. Hopefully we'll see you soon next week. Until then, take care and see you soon.